Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Parenting versus Podcast.
The date night edition.
The rooftop edition.
The rooftop edition. Yeah, we are actually on top of Hotel Park Central here in Albuquerque. It is a rooftop bar and lounge. It is gorgeous. We're just watching the city and drinking some champagne.
Mm-hmm. I'm drinking a Bosque Elephants on Parade.
Yeah, and actually our friends from church are partial owners of Bosque Brewery, so nice work, guys. Your beer is delicious.
It is awesome.
I'm having champagne. I'm having a drink called The Chemist, and there's a sugar cube in the bottom of it, and it's making the bubbles go all the way up. It's pretty neat to look at. It's entertainment and a cocktail.
Yeah, I've been meaning to come to this rooftop bar for years since it opened, and we just never got around to it. So
yeah, well, we had a few kids in the meantime.
Here we are.
It's date night tonight, so we are enjoying our time together and relaxing and watching the sunset over our beautiful city.
Soaking it in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Soaking in our newly found appreciation for our city.
Yeah, that's true. I would say it's new. It's like a rebirth of our appreciation for Albuquerque.
Yeah. We've gone through some roller coaster emotions in the past couple weeks.
Yeah, it's been a little bit nuts. We, I don't know. Sometimes it takes serious change in your mentality to appreciate the things that are around you. And I hope we're a little more grateful.
Yeah.
I think we are. I mean, we're drinking champagne on a rooftop, so...
Should we give the backstory?
If you would like.
Okay. So, a couple weeks ago, I was in class. Yeah, I'm still taking classes for teaching. This is TESOL, Teaching English Learners. Something.
Teaching English as a second language.
There you go. Yeah, teaching English as a second language. And I was kind of bummed out because I was still in class. And I thought, we were just fresh back from our trip to Portland.
Yeah. And it was a very inspiring trip, let me just tell you. I mean, it's hard. I feel like I'm torn between two different cities a lot of the time.
Right.
And it can be frustrating.
Yeah, a little bit. But we're fresh back from the trip. I'm in class. I'm still on kind of like vacation high. And I'm thinking, what if I just apply for a job in Portland and I get hired and just move my family to Portland? So I kind of like half jokingly texted Lindsay, I should apply for a job and we should move to Portland. Haha, LOL.
You should never half jokingly text me stuff like that, because that's where I'm really spontaneous, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it.
I was half joking, but then I found out I was more serious. Yeah. Because when you agreed to it, I was like, yes, let's do this like hardcore. So we've gone through a lot of emotions, told our parents.
We were ready to do this, you guys. Like, we were, like, we called our realtor. We're like, let's put the house on the market. Let's do this. Game on. Give us a time frame, and let's make it happen.
And then we hit some roadblocks, and we were still like determined. We're like, oh, these are roadblocks. Whatever, we can still do it. Our parents are gonna be all right. If we don't sell the house, we'll rent. We'll find entry level jobs where we just make, whatever.
We'll do it for the lifestyle.
Yeah.
We will suffer for the lifestyle.
Yep. And I don't know.
Just kept hitting like these bumps and these roadblocks, and I don't know. It was crazy because even if we wanted to, it's so daunting to try to move your entire family, and on top of it, I mean, it's expensive. Like, we live in the poorest state, and then we would be moving to a state where rent is like an upwards of $2,000 a month.
It's just economically, the cities are in different spots.
Right, and financially, if you're not prepared for that, it can be kind of traumatic.
Yeah.
But we had a plan A and a plan B, and we really thought about it. We were stressing out about this for like a month. We were like, okay, like, how are we going to do this? Like, let's figure it out. Like, let's have a game plan. And nothing went right. And then we had some kind of offhanded comments from some people, just kind of about like the financial situation, which wasn't real helpful. But I don't know. I mean, we kind of just decided, like, okay, like, look at the things we actually have. And I think you forget sometimes. Like, you forget what you actually have because you're always looking at what's ahead or what you could have on the side.
Yeah.
It's grass is greener syndrome.
Yeah, and
Always.
I've been guilty of that a lot.
Me too.
So.
But it's like now we're sitting on this rooftop. It's like cool breeze. It's still hot outside. I'm watching the train go by downtown. I see these beautiful tall buildings. There's a sunset.
Clouds are really pretty tonight, too.
It's gorgeous out here, and I'm thinking, like, I'm not going to compare it to Portland because they're beautiful in their own ways, Albuquerque and Portland, but I am going to say that I can appreciate New Mexico from a different perspective right now. Mm-hmm. It's a fresher perspective, I think.
Yeah. People don't come to Portland for their towering pine firs and stuff, right?
They do or they don't?
People don't.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, not to Albuquerque.
Oh, no, people don't come to Albuquerque.
Yeah.
You said to Portland. No, people don't come to Albuquerque. They come to Albuquerque for the weather. And I think we take it for granted a lot of times because we forget that, like, we can sit on a rooftop and watch a sunset and drink champagne, like, pretty much until October. And it's no thing to us. And in other places, like, it's full-on fall and rainy and drizzly and yucky. We take that for granted because it's just around us all the time. And
yeah,
you forget how pretty Albuquerque is. It's nice to see it elevated.
Yeah, it is.
It's gorgeous.
You can see the volcanoes.
Mm-hmm.
They call them the three sisters.
Yeah. That's exactly what they call them. The old Navajo phrase. Say it again?
The three sisters?
Yeah. Definitely not.
No, the three sisters. That was hard to say. Jeez. Three sisters.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I'm looking out there are more than 3 volcanoes out there.
It's sort of like an allegory to a New Mexican family.
Yeah.
There's usually like three
Yeah.
stable family members, and then there's a few more here and there.
Then there's the stragglers. There's the black sheep over there.
Yeah. Way off in the distance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but it's, I'm starting to feel like I might identify more with New Mexico than Portland, which is weird for me to finally admit that. I mean, it's been 13 years.
Well, think about how much time you've spent here. Think about how much time you spent in Missouri. Think about
I try not to think about the time I spent in Missouri at all. Yeah.
I did enjoy
Try to
Missouri.
block that
I'm just going to say that. I did enjoy Missouri. It was a change. It was different. The thunderstorms is what I miss the most about Missouri.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I miss my car being covered in a 1/4 inch of ice.
I really think that that's you thinking back nostalgically, and maybe that's not real life. I can't imagine that you miss that, because I remember looking at you from the window and seeing you like swearing, and I couldn't hear anything, but I could see your gestures and your motions and your kicking and
yeah, because I was late.
I'm
I'm always late for whatever. Like, I'm running late always.
all the time.
And we lived in Moberly,
Missouri. Shout out to Moberly, Mobtown.
Motown, the Magic City.
They actually do call it the Magic City. I don't know why. The only magic is that we got out alive.
Yeah. It's because
one time there was this lady. Side note. There was this lady talking to me in Moberly at a restaurant. It was like a greasy spoon diner kind of thing. And she's like, well, I'm a city girl. I'm from Moberly. And I just kind of looked at her, and I was just like, excuse me while I pick up my jaw off the ground. Because this is not, like, you're not a city... What? Like, it was hilarious.
Compared to, like, Sedalia, I guess?
Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
But we're being kind of snobby right now, so let's cut that shit out.
I did like my time in Moberly, but... So
it was a time of growth.
It was like our second year of marriage. Mm-mm. Did I just say second?
Second.
Like our second year of marriage.
You should explain that, because if you're not from New Mexico, you're not gonna understand.
So yeah, if you're from New Mexico, like some of the, I want to say every time I refer to anybody as kids because I'm a teacher.
It's like Northern New Mexican slang or dialect.
Well, it's Albuquerque too.
I
had a kid talking about this year, and he's like, "Mister, who do you have for second period?"
Second. Or what?
Or seventh. It's second and seventh.
7-11.
It's like there's some things that we just say a little differently here.
A lot differently.
But yeah, so Moberly.
Oh my goodness.
Why did I even say second? I don't even know.
I don't know. It was our first year of marriage.
Oh, second year of marriage.
It's first.
I thought first year was Santa Fe.
It was for part of the year.
Okay.
We lived in Santa Fe for a few months, and then we moved to Missouri on my birthday.
Yeah.
I remember.
That was us. Grass is greener, wasn't it?
Yes, it was grass is greener syndrome again.
That's our life. I had one kid, and we're like, man, we just need to get a better kid. Let's make another one.
Now we have 3. That's not how it should work, by the way.
That's not how it works with us either.
Please don't have kids because you have grass is greener syndrome. No. Not okay. Not healthy.
Yeah. But yeah, we lived in Moberly, Missouri, and I worked at the Starbucks in Columbia, which is like 30 minutes south.
Yeah.
And we lived there in the dead of winter. The dead of winter. And these are Midwestern winters where, I'm not used to this. I'm used to cold in the winter. I'm used to snow in the winter. But in Albuquerque, it's cold and snowy at night.
It's like nature telling you that it wants you to die.
Yes. Moberly wanted us to die.
You breathe in, and it's like icicles in your chest.
Mm-hmm. And
we had you tell them about the cat.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
the Midwestern winters are like nothing I've ever experienced because you have your first snow. What is it, like November?
Yeah.
But early November.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't go away. It doesn't melt. It's there. It
turns into a layer of ice, and then it snows again.
Yeah.
And there's another layer of ice.
Yeah. So a cat died in our gutter. And
because we had a super classy situation in Moberly.
Yeah. And he was there, poor little guy. He was dead, but he was there, and somehow like he got shifted.
I'm sorry, this is not funny, but
he got shifted, so he was on his back, and his little kitty paw was like sticking out of the ice,
straight in the air.
And he was there all winter.
It was definitely a salute to the winters in Missouri. No,
Yes.
his little paw was sticking up out of the ice, and so we're like, we should really get out there and like take care of that or call the city. And we called the city, and they were like, you just have to wait until it melts. And we were like, okay, so we're gonna have this like dead cat with a paw sticking up out of the ice for the entire winter? And they were like, yeah, pretty much. So we had this like dead cat in front of our house with a paw, just like a little lone paw sticking up out of the ice for a while.
That was it
was disgusting.
It kind of was
sort of tragic and kind of sad, and I really don't know why the city didn't help us out, because let's be honest, that's not curb appeal.
Yeah. But I had some good times in Moberly. We it was a different situation, different.
Shout out to Gumby's Pizza in Columbia,
Man,
Missouri.
Gumby's Pizza was so good.
It's like my favorite thing of all time.
They had pictures of PBR and this really
for $3.
Yeah, $3.
And giant pizzas.
And Pokey Sticks.
Pokey Sticks. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
Just, if you can imagine like the best college pizza place of all time, Gumby's Pizza, Columbia, Missouri, Mizzou, you know who you are. That stuff is amazing. And there's this bar called the Tin Can, which was like an amazing.
I liked the Tin Can
spot too.
There was
it's closed now.
The other bar, I think I liked a little bit more though. It was on the main street.
It was kind of like a hipster / goth bar.
It was kind of like, it reminded me a little bit of like a mix between, like Bert's Tiki Lounge, like Good Bert's Tiki Lounge of circa 2005, and Atomic Cantina.
Yep, I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah, it was a cool spot. Fun to dance.
Yep.
There was a bar in Portland that reminded me of that bar, actually.
Me too. That was the bar we went to with Andrew.
Yeah, it was Beulah Land.
Yeah, that reminded me of the bar in Moberly.
Yeah, Beulah Land is a pretty sweet spot too in Portland. We went to a reggae dance party. That was pretty sick.
That was a blast.
I had a blast and a half. I was blastacular.
Portland was fun.
Yeah, Portland is a fun town. Don't get me wrong. I love Portland. I could talk about how much I love it, but I feel like in the true form of grass is greener, I need to talk about how much I love Albuquerque, because Albuquerque does not get a lot of credit. If Albuquerque was a person, it'd be one of those people that keeps their head down, works hard, but they don't ever get the credit they deserve. It's like the boss is always picking on the negatives but never notices the positives. Yep. That's kind of how Albuquerque is.
Yep. There's a lot of good people, and then the people that get the press are the ones that have road rage and shoot people and whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good people in the town.
There's a lot of good people here, and the crazy thing is the history here. Like, the roots go so deep, and it's inspiring to me, actually. There are families in this town that have literally been here for hundreds and hundreds of years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have existed here. Like, this was their land before it was a state.
Oh yeah.
Before it was part of the United States. I mean, this was like
yeah. Life was already established when the
Right.
Declaration of Independence was signed.
Right.
Like, life was
they've been here long
yeah.
before America. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And that's crazy to me because we give a lot of credit to things like the Oregon Trail, and that's newer history
Mm-hmm.
compared to like New Mexico history.
Oh yeah.
But then you look at the families that have been here and the people who built this city before it was even a part of the United States, and it's like, think about all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into creating this city.
People in Albuquerque, I think we've always had a history of just surviving, like just doing just that. Like we don't have a lot of rain.
Mm-hmm.
There's a river here that supported agriculture, and people were surviving. They weren't really thriving. They've always just been surviving.
Well, if you look at desert plants and desert life here, it's the same thing. I mean, it exists, but it thrives and it survives and it adapts. And that's exactly what the people have done here.
Right.
You know, the people have adapted.
Right.
Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. But like the people here, I mean, and I'm not saying they're hard, but like a lot of people here, it's like they have adapted to this lifestyle, and it is a hard lifestyle to live. Coming from the Pacific Northwest to New Mexico, it is a game changer. It's definitely a shocker. People here have a different mentality, but it is very, it's not what you would call like, I wouldn't call it driven in terms of like career type drive. I would consider it more of like a strong will or a stubbornness.
Right.
A stubbornness to keep going.
I think
Does that
you're
make
right.
sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right. One thing that I also notice about Albuquerque every time I come back is how far you can see.
Oh, yeah.
Like, we're on top of this roof, and there are two interstates that go through Albuquerque. We have I-25, which we're right off of I-25, and there's I-40, which is, I would say, about maybe 2 miles to the north of us. And I'm right now looking at I-40 and looking at semi-trucks, like, on that. And I can see... Do you see them?
Mm-hmm. You know what's crazy? So when I moved here, I remember thinking... I remember this feeling, actually, pretty vividly. So coming from Portland, right? You have these giant, huge fir trees around you. So you can't see, like, super far.
Right.
Like, your line of sight is pretty much obstructed by giant trees all the time. And you get used to that, and it's fine. You know, you tend to look up and see how tall the trees are, and that's really neat.
Yeah.
But when I moved here, I remember thinking, like, feeling so small because everything is visible to me. Like, I can literally see across the city. I can see what's happening on the other side of the city. Like, I can see those lights right over there. I'm pointing straight ahead of me. There's, like, these little glistening lights, and I know exactly where that's at.
Is that MDC?
Mm-hmm.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's the jail.
Yeah.
It's way, way out there, but because it's so flat and open, you can see it from here.
We're in a valley, too.
Right. And I remember just thinking, like, I can see everything. This is so strange. And then when I went back to Portland to visit for the first time after living here, I felt claustrophobic because it was like, I can't see more than a couple feet in front of me. This is really weird.
Right.
Like,
you're in a forest.
You get used to the openness. And the thing about New Mexico that I love is that there's this vastness in the sky that is unprecedented. You cannot get this sky anywhere else.
Right.
The
sky we're looking at is pretty amazing.
It's gorgeous. The clouds and the sunsets. The sunsets here are incredible. You know, it's funny because a lot of people are Georgia O'Keeffe fans. And, like, they look at Georgia O'Keeffe's art and they're like, oh, it's all right. It's pretty cool. You know, da-da-da. Come and see that in person and then you'll understand. Like, I totally get it now. Right. You know? Yeah. It's just beautiful.
Yeah, it is really pretty.
I'm starting to appreciate things about it more. I don't know. It's been an interesting month.
Very interesting. Now it's game on. Like, let's enjoy it. You know, I'm gonna go back to teaching my kiddos, and I just want to enjoy the rest of my summer. So,
well, you know, and
maybe
I feel
go camping.
Like that mantra that we had for a while that we need to continue is like, you know how some people say the grass is greener on the other side? Sorry. Crunch. I'm eating the remnants of the sugar cube in the bottom of my drink. I really like that phrase where they say the grass is green where you water it. Because the grass is always going to be greener somewhere else if you're not watering your own grass.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you really have to water your grass in Albuquerque, otherwise it dies.
Or you get in trouble for watering it too much because we are on restriction. Thanks, Texas, for taking all our water. No, but honestly, like, the grass is green where you water it. Meaning that wherever you decide to put your roots down and you decide to care for things, that's what matters.
Right.
You put your care into that. And the cool thing about New Mexico, too, and I'm not trying to, like, convince you because I don't have to, is that it's super cheap to live here, which is amazing, which means that our cost of living is low and we get to travel and we can actually afford it. We are planning a trip to Palm Springs at the end of the month, and that's going to be awesome.
Hopefully it's 120 degrees.
It was 117 in Palm Springs today.
I want to experience 130. We should just go to Death Valley.
Do you want to die? Like, you want to die? That's why we're not bringing our kids on this trip, because
I would just
we
love
might
to
die.
know what
There's a helicopter above us right now.
It's kind of neat. I would just love to know what that kind of temperature feels like. So
I don't know. I feel like it would just feel like death. But yeah, I'm excited to go to Palm Springs. Last time we went to the Amigo room in the Ace Hotel. That was by far one of my top 10 bars.
That was pretty awesome.
We made an Amigo even.
We did. He's from India.
That was crazy.
Yeah, he's still your Facebook friend, I think.
We are friends, and I do say hi sometimes. No, this guy, so we met this guy at the Amigo room in Palm Springs at the Ace Hotel, which is, if you ever get the chance, go there. It's like old school Palm Springs meets like hip new, like modern urban.
It's like Hollywood's destination, like vacation in the 1960s.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're at the Amigo room for our second night there because we just like loved it so much we had to go again. And we meet this guy, and he's from India, and I was asking him about marriage because he said he was married and it was an arranged marriage, and I was like, so does that work? And he's like, yeah, actually it does. And it was really cool because we got to just have this long conversation, and then he started showing us pictures and video of his wedding in India, and it was like a big to-do. It was like a 4-day Bollywood shindig.
Sure,
it was awesome.
Yeah, they're doing the dancing, and it
was no joke. Like, he had some like Bollywood like pop group at his wedding. So I'm not sure what his parents did, or if he was like somebody we should have known who he was. I really don't know. But it was a really interesting thing. And I love meeting new people. So, I don't know. We had a blast.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to go back.
Yeah. It'll be fun.
It will be.
Marriage is fun.
It can be.
Marriage is a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But it is fun.
Yep. Roller coasters are exciting. They're scary. They're thrilling. And sometimes
we should go to Cliffs.
Predictable. No thanks.
I like the Rapper. I do like roller coasters, though.
I do too.
I do like them.
Yeah. Well, this is
maybe we can.
fun.
Maybe we can do a roller coaster when we're there. I don't know.
That'd be kind of fun. Well, I think that I am going to go ahead and sign off because my champagne is done. And it's a beautiful view. I'm watching the sunset and the rain roll in. We have monsoon season. And I'm really enjoying this, and I want to enjoy it with you.
All right. Well, we are staying in Albuquerque, and we're enjoying it now, so catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah, see you on the flip.
Peace.